Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Comfy Org stream. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully, very, very well. Last week, we got into a bunch of IC Laura stuff, all the newest stuff on Comfy Cloud. But today, I thought I would get into some more Claude Code fun, things you can do with the Comfy, without Comfy, expanding Comfy, extending Comfy. Basically, Comfy's really good at doing diffusion stuff, processing things over time. But sometimes you want to just mash a bunch of images together and make a grid, or come up with some effects or something you may not have a node ready for, or you might want to dial in your settings. It might be a multitude of things you want to do to your assets to bring them all into the same world. So um, today's less about using Claude to control Comfy, which is definitely possible, and we will do it. And that's sort of, we've covered that before, but that's not really what I want to talk about today. It's more about how can we extend functionality outside of Comfy, so that things you can, like, you can post process things with Python and your local computer very, very quickly without having to build a big complicated node workflow thing to do the task. So yeah, that's basically what I want to get into today. I'm just going to go straight into sort of some use cases and some ideas of how to get around this. I will add a link to the description below, and I'll post it in here. But these Claude skills that I'm using today, they're just my own Claude skills that I've been building. These are not officially endorsed by Comfy. They're not really the official way of doing anything. It's just some social uh, some things that make it easier for Claude to talk to local and cloud Comfy. So yeah, I'll just pull them up here. Blank full screen demo. Okay, friends, share screen, entire screen, this screen, share. Codex, Hermes, whatever you want to use, Claude, it's all the same. I'm just using Claude today because I like it. Use whatever you want. And you can also take this skill that I'm about to show you and feed it to any of the different agents. They'll all eat it. They'll all figure it out. They'll all make it work. So GitHub, Purz Beats, where is it? Laura tester Claude skills. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna drop this in the chat, and I'll also put it in the link in the thing below. But also, please do remember, this is not officially endorsed. This is just my own silly nonsense that I'm working on. Yeah. And yeah, these are the four skills. We got Comfy Cloud, we got Comfy Local, we got Comfy Workflows, and we got Laura Tester. Laura Tester is a skill that makes Laura testing galleries, so you can test Lauras with multiple strengths. And yeah, these skills are just MD files. That's why any agent can just eat them. The Comfy Workflow skill will teach it how to go back and forth between API workflows and human readable ones, make your life a lot easier. And local and cloud are just skills that help it interface with the cloud and with local. Easy peasy. I have all these skills already embedded in my Claude, but you can do so by just dragging them in and telling it to add it to its own global skill set. And if you want to read the skills first to make sure you're not importing viruses, please do. It's just plain text. You can read it all yourself. But yeah, what they'll do is they'll go in and try and sort out a lot of the underlying pitfalls and stuff that you'll run into when trying to use Comfy with Claude. All right. So that's the thing. Drag them in, and then once they're in, you can type like Comfy, see their local, Comfy Cloud, Comfy Workflows. They turn up. Them. And yeah, anytime you have something that you've done in Claude Code, you can turn it into a skill and then share that skill with your friends. So yeah, let's use Comfy Cloud. Use Comfy Cloud today. Why not? So I'm just typing /Comfy Cloud, and it's loading my Comfy Cloud skill. Okay, it says it's loaded my Comfy Cloud skill. I'm just remembering now, I think I might have deleted all my API keys, which means this will likely fail, but let's try it. Make an image with the image turbo of a tree is going to go, hey, your API key doesn't work. Do, 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 do. Okay, invalid API key. Check your key, or we'll get a new one. Okay, I am gonna go get. I'm gonna go do that on my other monitor real quickly. But basically, all you have to do is go to platform.comfy.org and go generate a new API key. Copy that API key and then paste it into your environment file, which I will just do very quickly down here on the other screen so y'all can't copy it, you sneakies. Normally I would have this all set up before the stream, but I forgot that I nuked all my API keys the other day. Code, LoRa tester, edit, environment file. There it is, comfy API key. And I'll just read it out for everyone real quick. Whoop. And then I want a file, save that, doink, and exit. Okay. Try again. I updated the API key. So yeah, the API key allows you to control Comfy Cloud with your account. So you just generate your API key and then add it to a .environment file. It'll tell you how to do that. You never have to paste your key into Cloud if you don't want to. You can control it all yourself. So it says it's done. Let's have a look. It'll be in the Cloud Outputs folder, which is in here, and it should be 2026-06-23 Z image tree. Let's have a look. Well, look at that tree. Isn't that beautiful? It made that on the cloud. So the real power of this is, okay, that's wicked. Now make 8 trees in 8 different biomes in a subfolder called biome trees 1. Yeah. So this is where, imagine now if I wanted to make this workflow, I would have to actually just copy and paste it 8 times and write 8 new prompts. And it's like, yeah, it's a pain. But here we're letting Claude or Codex or Hermes or whatever you use, open code, to be your prompt writer. So if we look, a folder should appear down here. This is the output folder that I'm in for my project, and something should appear right here. And also, if I'm on the cloud, yeah, you can actually see your jobs. If you just go to the cloud, you can see them all appearing in the asset panel here. Boom, 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 boom. Crazy. And then once it's all done, it'll download the whole job and put it in that folder I asked it to. Is writing JSON on the fly to do what you ask? Yes, exactly. Exactly. What are the human skills that you find more valuable when working with Comfy UI? Oh, that's a good question. Taste, aesthetic, all the artistic choices that you're making. That's all the human element. You don't want the computer to decide what looks good. You want to do that. Try ideogram 4. Yeah, we probably will do an ideogram stream. I haven't even played with the model enough yet. Some of the other creatives got to play with it more. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trying it out. I heard it's really, really good. Do you think it makes sense to learn PyTorch to become a pro user of Comfy, or what would you suggest to become a power user? I would suggest learning how to vibe code. Learning PyTorch is only really important if you want to help with optimization and maybe helping to wrap new models. You know, a lot of that stuff. But PyTorch itself, that's really more into the data science and the actual, math involved. If you want to be a better artist with Comfy, I'd recommend just making stuff. Stupid answer, but sort of true. Okay, we got all of our cool biomes. So now I've got all these trees, but that's great and everything. And I have these images, but what can I do with these images? Well, first, so now we have, so how many did you make? Just made 8. Okay, let's take those 8 images and make a 5x2 grid out of them. So what it should do is just use pill or something to do this. And what that means is instead of yep, see there it goes, importing pill. Instead of building out this complicated grid system in Comfy, it's just going to use a Python image library pill to mash a grid together and save it. So yeah, see, it's already done. Oh, I said 5x2 for 8. That's not going to work. Yeah, and it mentions it too. Actually, if you'd rather not have 2 blank cells, I do have 4x2. Yeah, sorry, I meant 4x2. I'm just terrible at math. Ha, no worries. 4x2 fills all 8 cells perfectly. So now it should just bang out a quick. Yep. Oh man, that's cool. Okay, so this is where things start to get really interesting now that I can just manipulate these things that I make. So I've got these 8 trees and 8 different biomes. That's all great. Now let's do can we turn it into a dramatic slideshow with a cool Ken Burns effect as we go from image to image with slow 7-second crossfades between each image. Show each image for 10 seconds. Actually, no. Show each image for 7 seconds before initiating each crossfade. Yeah, and loop back on the first image. I'd like it in 24 FPS, 1080p, MP4. Make sure it's a regular H.264 codec that plays everywhere. I only say that last bit because sometimes Claude likes to make really weird videos with FFmpeg. So we just used pill. We just used Python image library. Another thing we can use is FFmpeg, which is, you might have heard of it or used it before. It's a way of encoding and decoding videos into and out of streams. You can use it to do cool stuff like this. So yeah, it's going to be a really slow slideshow. You're right. It'll need dramatic music. Yeah, that's good advice. What are the most advanced workflows and tools to create 3D environments? Now, environments is a strong word. To create a splat or a sort of world around you, you'd want to use Marble, World Labs, something like that. But for, true environmental design, you're making all the set pieces, you're setting them all up. You're like, it's very intentional work. Almost nothing will generate you an environment that's sort of ready to go. You can generate a bubble around you that is an environment, but then generating all those set pieces, setting them up, lighting them, texturing them, bringing them to life, animating them, that's all stuff you're gonna have to just learn and do like everybody else. The next best thing is just making the video. So it depends on what you want to do, but if you're generating 3D environments, chances are you're going to want to stay in some sort of bespoke system in which you are making those so that all of your assets can be of a similar mm, I don't know, lineage, like, mixing a bunch of low poly and high poly meshes, with some of them with, normals, issues with the normals and bad faces and weird meshes, weird UV, unwrapped, AI made slop. Basically, like your scene won't be cohesive when you go to throw a camera through it later. I would just say, yeah, stay in the 3D world, generate the assets. Um, yeah, learn how to build an environment in 3D, and then make the assets that you need with AI. Bring them in, see how they stack up, kind of thing. But yeah, it all depends on what you're doing it for. If your stuff can be like you're throwing a shader over everything, and you can get away with really low poly stuff with weird textures, AI is great for that. But when we need to step into that sort of 3D realism world where you want everything to look legit, AI is not quite there yet. Yeah, yeah, Laminar, Unreal Engine, Blender. These 3D places. That's a great place to start. So many great tutorials out there. Any suggestions for those of us masochists running an AMD 9700 AI Pro GPU? Yeah, I mean, you're doing the thing, you're making it work. It'll get better, but it won't be incredible. Stick to LLMs, stick to like low stakes image models, only just because there's like diminishing returns on how long it takes to make videos on AMD cards, and it's almost just a better waste or not a better use of your time to just rent like a faster GPU at doing those tasks if that's what you want to do with your time, than trying to hammer it out on an AMD card. Um, I would use the AMD cards for like gaming and 3D rendering and uh the kind of like the stuff that they're really good at. And then the some of those AMD cards, they get very large, so good for LLMs as well. It's doing a bunch of stuff. I have no idea if it's gonna work, but it's cooking. It's thinking some more. I got carried away answering questions. I'm new to Gen AI. Where should I start to learn about the main concepts? Oh, I really recommend the Pixelrama Comfy UI Getting Started series. It's great. It's amazing for getting started with Comfy. Are there any ways to include Gemini as an assistant like Claude? Gemini, I believe you could do this with anti-gravity. I've not tried it. But yeah, if you just feed my skills to anti-gravity, I might be able to make you a project that does a thing. Oh, all 1024 by 1024 FFmpeg is ready. Here's my plan. Per image, we're going to scale up and center crop to 16 by 9, then a slow Ken Burns move. Each image holds 7 seconds solo, then a 7 second crossfade. Then it's going to render. All right, let's see what it does. What do you think? I think it's going to work. Dramatic trees. Rendered cleanly. Let me verify the encode specs and spot check. I don't think it worked. All right, moment of truth. Oh, it's so jiggly. It is trying, but it's very jiggly. Oh, look at that slow crossfade. It's so dramatic. It needs like bling 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 music, bling bling bling. Okay, okay. Hey Claude, the zoom out is extremely janky and jiggly. Can we really smooth it out and also make it half as long? Have it linger for 3 seconds and crossfade for three. All right. Feels like the value of technical skills these days is going down while the value of storytelling and refined taste is going up. It's just evening out a bit, I think. The technical artists will be able to make cool stuff. The more like just straight up creatives will be able to make creative stuff, on the workflows that technical artists make. It's awesome. We're all just coming together and reducing the walls and reducing the barrier to entry is key for just having everyone be able to tell stories. Is LoRa tester only for comparing LoRa's, or can it compare full models and workflow variants? Yeah, yeah, it could compare anything. Just tell it what you want to compare, and Claude will make it happen. Claude's smart. Could you tell me about the Claude Code node graph? I'm curious how it works and what role it plays inside Comfy. Yeah, so we have the Anthropic Claude models, the Claude Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku wrapped in a partner node, and you can use it for one-time calls in and out. So you can feed it an image or a prompt, and just say, hey, describe this image and make a much better prompt enhance, that kind of thing. There's a million things you can do with it to really yeah, just in your workflows, use the power of Claude. What did it say? Good catch. Jitter is a classic zoom pan problem. The fix is to run the pan on a much larger internal canvas, so each step is sub-pixel. Then I still think it's going to be jittery. I think it's going to be 3 times as jittery. But we'll see. Oh, we'll see. All right. Re-rendered 48 seconds. Okay, let's see. VLC. Hello. Video. Yeah, still janky. It's pretty cool though. But yeah, what an interesting way to like manipulate the things you make. It's so cool. It's not great, but I don't care. Let's move on. This time I'd like to make 4 LTX 2.3 text to video videos of trees in biomes and then stitch them together with 3-second crossfades. Make it so. I'm gonna Picard it. Does Comfy have native API nodes for CDance and GPT-2 image? So let me describe the difference between native and partner nodes. Native means that it runs in Comfy. The models are either served by your computer or our cloud. Native support does not extend to model companies that have closed models like CDance and GPT Image 2. In those cases, we have partner nodes, and those partner nodes connect to your Comfy Cloud account and use the same credit bank across all of them to send those calls out to our partners and send the result back. So you can use them in Comfy, but they are not natively supported. The work, the generation is still done on their side. So just an important distinction. When you see natively supported stuff, that means it works in Comfy and you can download the models and do it yourself, or you can use the models on cloud and render things. But when you see partner nodes, that means that we don't have access to those models and they are only accessible via API. And that's how we give you access to everything in the same app, essentially. So yes, you can access them, but you cannot access them natively. So it's going to generate four LTX 2.3 T2V biome videos on cloud, then stitch with 3-second crossfades. One timing note I'm baking in: the proven LTX text to video clip is 4 seconds, but a 3-second crossfade on both ends means each clip has to be around 6 seconds. So I'll render 7-second clips. That leaves 3 crossfades clean with 1 second of solo hold per clip. Nice. That's the kind of thing where you would have to render it and then realize, oh, I screwed up, and then do the math yourself. The agent figured it out before we even did the renders, which is nice. What's the best image model when it comes to diversity of outputs with the same prompt? Probably Creo 2 right now, actually. There was a node pack in the past to describe the node that you want. Use LLM to create the node. Yeah, that's any node. I don't believe it's been maintained or updated for quite a while, and I don't think it's still doing the thing. A lot of those solutions work great for a couple weeks, but then once all the edge cases start rolling in, they get unmanageable. And anything node is quite a well, anything is anything, which is unlimited possibilities for errors. I think it's working. Yep. You can see the runs here initializing. It's so cool that we can just do stuff like this. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Blown away. Have I played with Bernini yet? I have not. Bernini is a new video edit model based on WAN 2.2. Oh, value not in list. Ooh, we got an error. Let's see if it can scoop its way out of this error. Let's see what the matter is. What's the matter? The submit only failed on node 3. My model name matcher grabbed a wrong text encoder entry. It hallucinated a model name, and guess what? It didn't work. This is the thing I've been screaming at the AI for ages. When it hallucinates model names, suddenly things don't work because the model names matter. But it figured it out, cooked it all out. Nice. I think the size is a little low, but at least they're moving fast. Cook 'em, Dano. That's not right. Yeah, I think the file size is a little low. Yeah. Interesting. When it's done, we'll ask why and exactly who it thinks it is. Just whom do you think you are, Claude? I've been over the moon with Claude lately. I've been building stuff for this tiny little screen, um, like a little dev unit, 1.5-inch screen. So much fun. Claude just knew what it was and started cooking. So pretty. Let's see what it does when it gets the 4 videos. Should be able to stitch them together. Give me my beautiful crossfades. All right, Claude, do your business. Did it download them? It did. Great job, Claude. Great work. Does it make sense to try Claude if you're using Codex? No, you would use Codex. So Claude is Anthropic's model. Codex uses OpenAI models, which would use GPT. So Codex is a harness, just like Claude Code is a harness. And the Codex harness uses OpenAI models, such as GPT 5.5, 5.6, whatever. And Anthropic provides the Claude model family, which is used by the Claude Code harness. Just to try to make that make sense. I know there's a lot of confusion. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. All right. Biome videos stitched. Beautiful. Beautiful. Great work, Claude. And then right back to the first one. No? All right, that's fine. I didn't ask it to loop this one. Okay, that's great. So now we have so we're processing things based on, spacing, location, time, turning them into videos. What if we wanted to add effects? What if we wanted to do some cool stuff? So let's add film grain and halation to this video. So instead of trying to find the nodes and hook it up and make it all work, I'm just going to ask for it. Anyone know what halation is? Halation? 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 Hands up, class. Anyone know what halation is? People are just furiously Wikipediaing it right now. I hear you typing. We are not using the MCP to talk to Comfy UI. That's correct. We are just using a very simple skill that I made for Claude Code to do some of the more tricky stuff, but we're basically just talking to it somewhat vanilla with Claude Code. Okay. What I applied in a post pass, your stitched original is untouched. Halation highlights isolated, blurred, tinted, orange red, screened back at 55% opacity. You can see the warm bloom around the sunset sky in the Savannah shot. I have a feeling that it's going to have gone just completely overboard on these, but let's have a look. Actually, actually, quite subtle. I'm impressed. I'm actually very impressed. See that light orange glow on everything? So that film grain really cuts out a lot of the goo in that diffusion run. Wow. Okay. Um, the biome videos you generated on the cloud were kind of small. Sup with that? Let's see if it can figure out why the videos that it made were a little small. It's figuring it out. Maybe. Maybe not. Supersized. They were 768 by 512, which is small. Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, do 1280. 1280. Okay, it's going to rerun these. We'll get 1280s and then we'll start processing them again. Let's vote. Do you guys want to see it do chromatic aberration? Do you want to see it do a duotone? Do you want to see it do dithering? Or do you want to see it do I'm trying to think of what would be a good one for trees. Yeah, those are good. You want to see chromatic aberration, duotone, dithering, or dithering? You guys vote. Let me know what you want to try while this cooks. We'll get all interactive with it. One vote for chromatic aberration. If you don't know what that is, it's just shifting the RGBs a little bit to give the sort of weird defocused old CRT look. That's two. Yeah, it's a lot cleaner. Oh. Just make it go full glitch stack. Yeah, we'll do chromatic aberration and then we'll ask for like an entire glitch stack on it to just have it go absolutely silly bonkers with it. So, the other thing I wanted to talk about was beyond just doing this sort of one off thing. The other thing you can do with vibe coding is make recreatable effects. So, every time you build something like this, you can make a web interface or you could build a web interface one time around where you can process these clips and then start adding all these different functions as different presets. And you can add those presets onto your clips and then maybe make a batch processor for it. So you could process a whole folder worth of clips once you have a preset bank set up. I think my point is like everyone can vibe code now. You just have to ask for things. So think about what you want. Uh, it's a scary question sometimes when someone goes, "What do you want to make?" And you go, "What can I make?" And they go, "Anything." Option paralysis is crazy, and even when you don't know what the options are. So don't sweat it. Just think about cool stuff you've seen in the past and see if you can recreate it. Once you do that, you can mix two things together and make your own thing. Once you made your own thing, you can make another your own thing. And you can mix those two your own things together, and all of a sudden, it's all your own thing. Our Tripo Splat nodes in Comfy Desktop now. They're coming. They should have been tagged and stable this morning. You should be able to download them in the virtual environment and portable versions of Comfy, but desktop will be updated later as usual. Okay, so it's made 3 of them so far? Or 2 of them so far? Oh, 3 of them. Yeah, these look much, much, much sharper. Yes, this is a real problem. Zanelli says the issue is they often end up with 50 projects that are at 80%. Yeah. Or 100 projects at 30%. It's a couple extra projects here and there never hurt anybody, right? Right. 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 Right, right, right. Right, 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 right. All right, 50%. Let's go. Let's go. Who knew making 4 1280 videos would take a while? Well, hello. Okay, okay. 75%. I like that. I like that. I wonder if it's going to add film grain and stuff. Or if it's just going to make the videos and then just like leave it. All right, videos are made. What do you say, Claude? All 4 regenerated the bigger size. Let me confirm the actual dimensions, restitch and regrade. Nice. Do it. The other thing is you can just ask Claude to make scripts to do things, and then you can always just ask it to run those scripts on folders of stuff. Like you don't always have to make a full interface to do these things. You can just like use Claude to write scripts, and you can also use Claude to run those scripts. You don't have to know how they work or set anything up or use your computer or type with your fingers. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess you guys can't see the grain as much, but it really helps a lot. Looks so much better. Great work, Claude. Okay, now let's add a whack of chromatic aberration before the grain and halation. No, before the grain, but after the halation. So, halation, chromatic aberration, and then grain. Let's see if it can like stack the layers. This is crazy. You're just like compositing footage without ever touching an editor. Easy. I'll insert a chromatic aberration pass right between the halation blend and the grain. Order will be halation. Blah, 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 blah. So here's another thing. I don't know if y'all have heard of remotion. Let me pull it up while this cooks. Remotion. So there's this really cool thing called remotion. You can npx create video at latest. Remotion is a Claude skill, or there is a Claude skill for Remotion that will allow you to make cool videos with your content and then render them all with just asking Claude to do it. So I'll show you what I mean. Uh, this is another way to sort of post process your footage. So let's have a look at this chromatic aberration one. Oh, there it goes. Look, I did it. I did ask for a really dramatic one, and it gave us a really dramatic one. Yeah, exactly. One way to ask for a shader, toy shader. And it put them in the order I asked for, which is great. This is great for making like your footage really trippy too. Like you see how we took these four clips that were really quite dissimilar. Um, but because we've applied the same effects chain to all of them, now they feel like they belong in the same world. This is a trick. This is a concept people have been using for years and years and years, right? So now we have this, we have that, we have this. It's all great. So let's say, do you? I've already installed Remotion, but you can do it by just there's a command on the website for installing it. So now I'm going to say, okay, those four videos are cool. Can you make a really snappy, cool 9 by 16 TikTok style video with Remotion um, using those four videos? Then after we render it with Remotion, we can apply this effect bank again to post process the Remotion footage. Let's just see if it can even begin to figure out what I'm talking about here. Awesome idea. Before I write the Remotion composition, you understand how Remotion render skill handles input video assets, local files versus URLs, since rendering likely happens remotely. It doesn't. It happens here. Let it cook. Let it cook. I actually really like this completely exaggerated halation or chromatic aberration. It's pretty cool. Why is rendering remote? What are we talking about here? It's okay. I can render the video. Just start making the Remotion project and spin up the server so I can preview it. Can you ask it to make a 1 minute scene with character environment consistency like C dance videos? Yeah, I mean, you could just do that with, it'll just use C dance. I think it's overthinking this Remotion thing. Or maybe there's a new Remotion skill that's some kind of API call. I don't know. Whatever. I've had really good results with it. You may want to just try just starting from a Remotion project and going on. I'll let it cook and see if it can figure this out. But if not, we'll just go. Got it. Your renderer is remote. Input videos and public URLs. Public sign GCS. Yeah. Okay. So I think it forgot that the files are just in here. The files are here in this folder. Come on, Claude. Thank you. Yeah, so it was basically trying to go and, like, grab the 4 videos we made from the cloud and be able to just, like, do like, stack up a thing that will just grab them anytime. Basically, it was overthinking the problem. This can happen a lot, with the models, so this is where the human comes in to say, "Hey, your solution sucks. The files are here on the hard drive, just use them." So now it's creating a remotion project. And when it's done, it should spit out a page where I can look at this remotion project before we render it. And I can say, you can do my video editing, right with remotion. Make Claude do it. Come on. Now the composition, writing the root and snappy reel component. Let's see what it does here. I'm curious what it thinks a snappy TikTok reel looks like. Show me. Do 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 do. Hey. Okay. Now installing dependencies. This is the slow step. So it's installing all the stuff for remotion now into the folder. All right. It should spin up the server. Oh, right now it's checking to see if there's any errors in the code. Bundles clean. Here we go. Let's see. What? Bruh. This is great, but the zooming is shaky as hell. What up with that? This is crazy, right? Like, what? I feel like it added a camera shake effect to be like trendy or something. Let's see if we can smooth out the shaking. So this editor is remotion. Um, this editor, this system, this is remotion. What it did was it coded a JSON file that sequences out all the things that are happening, and then this will allow you to view that sequence. And then when you're done, you just ask it to render that sequence in whatever format you need, and it will do so. So I can look at this and go, "Oh, hey, I actually want them to be 4 seconds, not 2 seconds or whatever." And then it'll just go make that change and you can see it, that kind of thing. And usually you don't even have to restart the page, but I'm going to anyway. Yeah, it's still real jiggly. Still super jiggly, dog. Yeah, let's set the composition frame rate to the clip frame rate to avoid any jiggly wigglies. Yeah, unfortunately, So King says, I know you can do it, but it's not as simple as giving an idea and a character data set. You need to babysit the whole process and it's exhausting. That is the creative process. The minute it becomes as simple as turning a key, the minute we are completely removed from the process. So I would say embrace it. Always be room for people who can fight through it and make it happen. Done, recompiled, clean. Let's see, refresh. I dare say, sir, it's even jigglier. Even jigglier. I've never run into this one, so this must be a frame rate mismatch thing. I'm very curious what this is now. Another cool thing, fair, and I think I've been chasing the wrong thing. The real culprit isn't frame rate or video element, it's the bouncy spring driving the scale. A low damping spring, a damped oscillation. Why are we using a spring to zoom in, buddy? Oh god. I think it made it worse. It got too cute. It got too cute. It's a little vomiticulous still. Nah, it's still weird and jiggly. Don't move the camera at all in the composition and let the clips move themselves. I think it's whatever you're doing that's fighting the natural camera movement of the underlying clips. Hoss. This is the stuff where it comes important to try to figure out why it sucks and just ask for what you want. Right now, I'm telling it what's wrong and what I want, and we're gonna get there. And by trying different things, we're ruling out, things it could be, and eventually we should land on something usable. And that's basically been my approach for all this stuff. See, perfect, perfect, great work. Okay, so it gave me the command to render it a little while back. So let's grab that command. I think it was just up here. Yeah, npm run render. Okay, it's that easy. Code, LoRa tester, remotion, npm run render. Done. Okay, let's have a look at it. Cloud outputs, remotion biomes, output, biomes real. Superb. So let's copy the path, copy as path. Like, okay, apply the effect bank to the final video now, please. And then paste the URL for the video. And we've come full circle. done? Oh, yeah, it can. It can do all that for sure. Okay, is it done? I think so. Let's have a look at the final video. Oh, yeah, boy. So I would even if I were to redo this, I would actually apply the effects to the underlying clips first. Then I would run them through Remotion to get the clean text on top of them. But this is how we learn. Someone asked if we can change the text. Let's try that. In the composition, can we fill in the numbers so they're not outlines but filled uh, text? They'll show up better on the background. Also, the text at the top needs a drop shadow. Both easy tweaks. There. It already filled in the numbers and it added the drop shadow on the top so you can actually read the numbers when it's got white or the letters when it's got white underneath. Yeah. I mean, you can go nuts with this. Like obviously we're just this is just one example of what's possible, but we went from, making 4 quick videos with LTX. I haven't even like used Comfy today and we've already made stuff. So it just gives you an idea of what's possible with these tools. Yeah. Go forth and have fun with Comfy and Claude Code and Codex and Hermes and who else? Open Code. Yeah, you can run a lot of this stuff locally. The tool use stuff all works very well. Things get a little tougher when you're trying to code and do reasoning tasks, but you can make stuff, you can build stuff, you can make tools that make art utilities. You can extend the usage of Comfy in many, 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 many ways. All the only limit is really just your imagination or you doing the research into what these tools, what these effects are, and what could possibly be. Uh, Data moshing, pixel, what's it called? Pixel sorting, right? Any glitch effects, anything you can imagine, anything you can't even imagine. You can even ask for stuff that doesn't exist. Go and play with it and share your results. We'd love to see it. I'll be back next week, probably with Rob and or Julian and or Phil. Who knows? And we'll get into the next latest craziest thing that there is to get into. Hope this was helpful. I hope this demystified a bit of what you can do outside of Comfy or with Comfy as a component in your creative process. And yeah, have fun, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Really appreciate everybody that we see every week, and we'll see y'all again real soon. Bye bye.